Limits like fears are mere illusions that many of us allow to stop our growth and development. Limits and fears are detractors to prosperity and must be pushed aside as we move forward to achieve greatness beyond our wildest dreams. Hi there, Adrian Atkinson here saying welcome and thanks for your company on this edition of Jamaica Magazine. In today's lineup, we'll be looking at the evolution of technology at Jamaica Customs to facilitate trade and economic development, plus assisting children with diabetes. Later, art playing an important role in social regeneration in the capital city. Stay with us for these and more. You don't want to miss any of what we have planned.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Asikuda World. Don't know what that is? Well, if you've ever shipped something to or from Jamaica, you'll want to get acquainted with this new system at Jamaica Customs.
The automated system for customs data, Asikuda for short. It's a big name for a big project that is reaping big rewards at the ports.
Just by eliminating the paper, all these entries that the importers or exporters or brokers have to use, we estimate that alone will save $537 million.
Asikuda World is helping the government in its pursuit of fiscal prudence and a credible macroeconomic program. Jamaica Customs exceeded the Finance Ministry's revenue target of approximately $12 billion for September 2015. The agency also exceeded its 2014 intake, moving from approximately $14 billion to $15 billion in gross revenue. Jamaica Customs has also surpassed its year-to-date gross collection, which has gone up from $75 billion to more than $88 billion so far for the fiscal year. These increases in revenue are greatly attributed to the newly implemented Asikuda World. The web-based application allows clients to undertake e-transactions, including manifest submissions, declarations, and payments. Basically, all users of customs can access information about transshipments through the agency's website, where a link to Asikuda World is provided. It's freeing up valuable space by replacing stacks of paperwork with electronic files.
These represent files from beyond July 2015. Evidence of the old system. Persons come to the export office with declarations, whether it be EX1, that's normal declaration, or EX2, which would be C43. They present their assessment notice to the officer. The officer brings up the assessment notice on the Asikuda World. We actually process it in terms of checking it, in terms of classification, checking for permits, all the requisite things that will uphold from the old system. Once we are satisfied, we will actually okay the process and send it to green.
The system has significantly improved the agency's efficiency outlook to the public.
We have always heard about lengthy waiting times, lengthy clearances in terms of an incurred costs, which is attributed to that where storage is concerned. This should be negated, if not significantly reduced. And of course, this is a cost saving to the importers as well. To date, we have seen just about 12,000 transactions being processed successfully, from preparing the declarations all the way to the point of release by the examining officers at varying customs offices island-wide. We've also seen $8.7 billion in terms of revenue being collected. The increased transparency is, of course, obvious, and this is also being commented on where our stakeholders are concerned as well. They are seeing reduced times in terms of overheads, and certainly it is of benefit to all of us.
To access information or to process information on applications, there was a disconnect in a number of areas.
And that's how it all began. There were about 21 databases used by the agency to process information and data which was not connected. This needed to change. The government had heard of and seen the benefits of Asikuda in other countries, and after reviews, a decision was made to implement it here. The pilot started in December 2014 at all Sufferance Wharves island-wide, including the state-owned oil refinery Petrojam, the first importer to benefit under this phase. Approximately 174 brokers, importers, and customs staff members were trained in preparation for the pilot phase of the system. 10 exporters were also selected to participate in the pilot phase. By August 3, 2015, all exporters were required to use Asikuda World to submit electronic declarations to Jamaica Customs. It's expected that all importers will be brought on stream by December 2015, and the full implementation of Asikuda World is slated for March 2016. The system was developed by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, with Asikuda World being the most recent version of the software. The implementation of the system locally is being financed through a loan from the Inter-American Development Bank at a cost of $4 million.
Once a declaration is sent, the system will automatically send you a copy of that declaration as a notification.
The Jamaica Customs Agency is being lauded for moving to introduce the automated system for customs data Asikuda World. This web-based application is yielding significant cost savings and improving service delivery. It's all part of government's determination to implement systems that will improve trade facilitation and increase the country's competitiveness by making trade transactions simpler and smoother.
Children are among the persons who can be affected by diabetes, and it is important that parents as well as the child is aware and can get help to manage the condition. More on that in this next feature.
Until there is a cure, they are ensuring persons unite around giving the care. And with special focus on the care and management of this chronic illness, diabetes, particularly in children and youth, the possibility of complications is being avoided, thus enabling a more fulfilling life. The Ministry of Health and the Jamaica Diabetes Association are leading the charge to get persons with diabetes to take control of their health. In recent times, there have been significant strides towards improving treatment and the well-being of children and youths living with diabetes. Thanks to the help of the Muddy Youth Program through the collaboration of the Diabetes Association and the Ministry of Health. With funding from the World Diabetes Foundation, the initiative is being implemented in Jamaica, Belize, and St. Lucia to achieve certain key objectives.
The first was to develop a registry of children and youth living with diabetes, increasing access to HbA1c testing to improve their glucose monitoring, development and implementation of a pocket guide for the management of diabetes in children and youth for use by the healthcare providers, and the creation of support groups and youth camps in areas where none existed.
The registry provides demographic information, and the results of medical examination and lab tests are collected. A diabetes passport was also developed for children with the illness, providing useful information on each, which should prove useful in cases of emergency. It also provides useful tips for the children to manage the disease. To improve healthcare delivery, over 100 health professionals have been trained to treat children with diabetes under the Muddy Youth program, while the National Health Fund financed the training of 5 nurses from the regional health authorities as pediatric diabetes educators.
As the child matures, then the requirements for medications may need to change. And so the provider has to be able to adjust treatment according to the stage that the child is at.
Muddy Youth is also increasing access to HbA1c testing, which tells the healthcare provider the average blood sugar level over a 3-month period and identifies persons who are at risk of developing complications due to high blood sugar levels. It's part of the measures outlined in the Pocket Guide for Health Professionals.
These guides were reviewed by healthcare professionals in each of the regions and have also been approved by the Ministry of Health.
Most children who have diabetes suffer from type 1, the form that needs to be treated with insulin. This requires frequent monitoring of blood glucose levels and, yes, making healthy meal choices and staying active to prevent complications.
What you eat will affect what your blood sugars are like. Whether you take your medications or not will affect what your blood sugar is like. How active you are in terms of your play, other things like that will affect your blood sugar as you grow, or you may be undergoing different illnesses that will also affect your blood sugar.
Assistance to youths with diabetes is provided via social activities, and the annual Camp Yellowbird, organized by the Diabetes Association, is one that got the support of the Muddy Youth program. In addition to learning to care for themselves, the children are able to engage in activities such as sports and educational games. The Diabetes Association is also setting up community support groups to complement the clinical management of the disease.
With the help of new partners, it is hoped that more young persons will be able to participate and benefit from the program in an effort to allow them to, as we say in the Muddy Youth Project, to control their diabetes and not let their diabetes control them.
Support can never be too much, and National Health Fund is up front in the line of assistance. 284 of its 119,000 enrolled diabetics are children up to 8 years old. Other children could benefit as the fund steps up its school screening program. The fund encourages the enrollment of children with diabetes under the NHF program, which gives them access to medication and diabetic supplies at a reduced cost.
And that includes the glucometer, insulin, syringes and tablets.
We need to continue with these programs that we have developed and all the support groups. We have enough talent and enough committed people here in Jamaica to let it work.
To learn more, contact the Diabetic Association of Jamaica or the Ministry of Health. Diabetic Association of Jamaica, 1 Downer Avenue, Kingston 5. Telephone number 927-9960 or visit diabetesjamaica.com. Ministry of Health, 2-4 King Street, Kingston 10. Telephone 967-1100 or visit moh.gov.jm.
You can lower your salt intake by checking the labels when buying processed and packaged foods. Compare products and choose the options lower in salt. A low salt option should have less than 120 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams of food. Reduce the salt and increase your consumption of fresh unprocessed foods. When cooking and at the table, use herbs, spices and other seasonings to give you great flavor and taste. A public service message from the Jamaica Information Service and the Ministry of Health.
Fever, rash, joint pain and red eyes. All common signs of the Zika virus or ZIKV. Symptoms are usually mild, lasting anywhere from a few days to a week. Jamaica has no Zika cases, but if it gets here, it would only be transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Don't give Zika a chance. Prevent the breeding of these pesky mosquitoes.
the use of oil, cooking oil, a little tip of cooking oil poured on the surface of the water suffocates the larvae and prevents them hatching out. So persons can do that.
We're arting up downtown in this next feature. Take a look.
Art calms the soul and makes the impossible possible. That's why the Ministry of Youth and Culture has been using art as therapy to reach youngsters who were once thought to be unreachable. One of the ministry's art therapy partners, Studio 174, has since 2006 been a haven for young persons seeking an outlet for their artistic expression. On today's episode of The Arts Page, we look at the studio that's been making a name for itself in downtown Kingston, not too far from the famed Kingston Harbor. In May 2013, directors at the studio dared to dream big, and through funding sourced from international non-profit arts and cultural organization OpenVisor and collaboration with the Caribbean Institute of Media and Communication, CARIMAC, they conceptualized the Art Up Downtown project, which ran for 3 months in the pilot phase.
The program really was about getting more Jamaicans to be able to tell their own stories. The students did workshops inside the studio, learning to work with equipment, having to do with audio production, video production, photography. And they also did a lot of work on the road. So I would say the workshops on the road were really what made this program very special, because it was a real life experience for the students.
Following the workshops, participants were challenged to explore their immediate environment and find positive and interesting stories which could be represented through art. Those involved included 11 interns from CARIMAC and 8 of the studio's regular patrons.
Everybody just come in and they work as a team. And it was great because they did interview, they did like photography. I helped these students by showing them around, telling them about market life, what market life was all about.
We want them to see other people, see what we're doing, so that them can see that we're doing all of those things downtown here.
And it tells you everything about the good parts of downtown. It was totally fantastic. They were nice, they were polite. They took everything time by time with me because, the very first time you're going on video to help someone is like, okay, you're going to be shaking at first, but they talked to me, they helped me laugh, and I just enjoyed myself right through it, like normal.
The exciting interaction between these budding artists and their subjects gave birth to a comprehensive exhibition that found a home within the walls of the studio, showcasing artwork inclusive of drawings, paintings, pictures, video and audio representations of life in the bustling town center.
We went through audio production, photography and video production. That entailed learning how to do stories, interviewing persons on the street for your audio stories, going on the street again, taking pictures of the buildings, of the people, and learning how to tell a story through pictures, be it 1 picture or 3, and tell a story. And then with video production, what we learned was to tell a story now with video, how to express emotion, how to express the ideas of people, vox pop. They were very excited about it because this is equipment that they've seen but never touched or operated. So they're really excited about it. They caught on quickly.
My skills in videoing, editing has improved. I learned about audio, and what I really improved on was the going out there on the streets, interviewing people, interacting with people, because at Karamat we learned the foundation of audio. So basically when we came here, I learned how to actually carry it out.
The Art Up Downtown project is not the studio's only offering. Neither does it just cater to individuals in and around downtown.
Outside of the Art Up Downtown program, we normally have workshops on Saturdays, and we have a number of plans, a number of things coming on stream very soon. I would definitely want people to know that we'll soon be offering support for CXC, CAPE, and Bachelors of Arts degree students.
What we do also here, we actually teach therapy art, where persons can come, as I said before, and kind of get back to themselves and so forth, because the thing is that sometimes, like during the incursion and so forth, persons were actually terrified and so forth. So what we do, we create programs like these now to make them actually feel comfortable again. It's a place where persons can relax and connect with oneself.
I want to say to the organizers that they're doing a fantastic job. They should keep it up. And we really appreciate it. And I know that the youths here at Studio 174, they also appreciate it.
I want them to continue on them journey and never give up. Because I see students with determination and lots of promise in them. The Art Up program is something good. It's a good thing for downtown, and I'm hoping for the best for it.
I will tell them, come again, do more projects like that.
Organizers have listened, and the second installment of the project began in May 2014, ensuring that a new batch of students can explore their creativity while gaining practical experiences and life skills. There's no age limit for participating in the programs that are offered, so feel free to drop by the studio located at 174 Harbour Street and see what it's all about. You may also send an email to studio174jamaica@hotmail.com or visit their Facebook page to find out more.
It's been 11 months.
7 years. 12 years.
Since I became the most important person in the world.
It's a big responsibility to know that her future is in our hands.
I have to tell him and show him that he is my number one. I want to prepare them for life's journey. So as them grow, them know the difference between right and wrong.
I gotta make sure we keep him out of bad company. Because if I don't raise him right, the streets are gonna raise him. I feel, she feel.
If me stumble, him fall. Knowing I'm responsible for their future and they're responsible for Jamaica's future.
So I won't give up or allow her to quit. I'm gonna make sure I'm safe on the straight and narrow.
Me prefer to tell them no now than watch them regret it later.
Because to the world, I'm just another person. But to my child, I'm the whole wide world.
We have waited a long time for it.
It's time to march into the future to build another generation. This park holds that potential to develop that greatness because we know we'll have an upgraded recreational facility so that children in and around the areas have a good family life, have art and recreation, and can see a civility about their country, which is important.
We long for the day and expect it when the great Parliament of Jamaica will be sited at the top of the north of National Heroes Park. And we dream of the time when this good place, embodying the spirits and the lively presence of our national heroes, our prime ministers and our cultural icons, can be a meeting place for the communities. National Heroes Park is the lungs of Kingston redevelopment. The dream is that as Emancipation Park has transformed New Kingston and its curtilage, so National Heroes Park must become the source of oxygen for rebuilding downtown Kingston.
And the total cost of the project is estimated to be $2.5 billion. Don't be frightened by that number. You're not going to get quality without the expenditure of a sum in that magnitude. And we are united in that we believe that the ordinary people of the corporate area of the Kingston metropolitan region deserve a part of that authority. And I'm appealing to those for whom this is being built. Treasure it, preserve it, do not vandalize it, because it's not somebody else's park, it's a park for the people.
This is where we close Jamaica Magazine for today. We're back tomorrow with more useful information. In the meantime, keep the link. Use our Facebook and Twitter pages, YouTube channel and the GIS website to stay in touch and get the very latest government information. On behalf of the entire team here at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson, reminding you to stay healthy, eat well, get adequate rest and make every day a productive one.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.